Welcome to Michael Potts F1, everything Formula One, but from a photographer's point of view. McLaren have unveiled their new car, the MCL60. They've also introduced us to new driver Oscar Piastri and new team principal Andreas Stella. The MCL60 is quite a significant car for McLaren because it signifies the 60th anniversary of the company founded by Bruce McLaren. This is going to be a bit of a transitional season for McLaren. They have a new wind tunnel, but that will only become available for them to work on next year's car. They also have a new team principal, which must have come as a bit of a surprise and has probably derailed a little bit of their planning. The mood at the car launch wasn't let's say, that upbeat. And if you are a McLaren fan, I think this year might be a tough year. The team say that they've spent a lot of work reinventing the car, hopefully ironing out a lot of the issues that made the car such a nightmare for Daniel Ricciardo to drive. The car revealed appears to be another one that's following the Red Bull philosophy, but it has a few of their own features. Currently in this camp, we've got Red Bull, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Williams, and now McLaren. We see big cutaways under the side pod. This brings air around to the back of the car. The car is sort of Coke bottle shaped, and this movement increases downforce. It's not as tight and as extreme as some of the other cars we've seen. The Alfa, for example, was a little bit more aggressive. This might not be the final version that we see at the first race, although the team was talking at being a bit behind the development schedule to where they'd like to be. In terms of a livery, this is a lot better than last year. There is a lot more black, and they're using the papaya and the blue as well-positioned accents, highlighting the flow and the shape of the bodywork. The use of the colour feels much more deliberate and has created a much more harmonious, all-together design. It's also helped a lot by having the Chrome logo replacing last year's Google Android logo, which is going to be hard to place on anything. Last year's car looked a little bit lost, stylistically speaking. This one seems to have much more intent. There's some lovely detailing. The papaya on the undersides of the side pod look great from the front. And generally speaking, they've got the balance between the black, the papaya, and the blue much better than they had last year. It might just be these beautiful renders, but the car looks seriously good. And this car is going to really stand out against all its competitors. The Formula One grid is looking quite dark and quite monochromatic, and this car is a real splash of colour. The black, as with other cars launched, is bare carbon fibre, and this is going to help each team to reduce weight. Every drop of paint not used will make the car lighter and faster. So this is a very clever use of using functionality to create a beautiful design. The team has a new team principal in Andreas Stella, who's Italian. He has degrees in aerospace engineering and a PhD in mechanical engineering. His Formula One journey started at Ferrari in 2000. At one point, he was race engineer for Kimi Raikkonen and then for Fernando Alonso. He moved to McLaren in 2015, and in 2019, he was race director reporting to Andreas Seidel. He has a lot of experience within the team and within Formula One in general, and has all the makings of a really good Formula One team principal.
Yeah, it's been busy, intense so far, but also I would say very interesting and to some extent even enjoyable.
The team also welcomes Oscar Piastri, who had a very dramatic move from Alpine in the summer. The whole process blew up spectacularly. While his move to McLaren did create a lot of headlines, it did kind of show us that Oscar was a man who understands his worth. He's also on top of a situation that maybe the Alpine executives weren't. He's very determined and he's going to make the best moves he possibly can to enhance his career. Another thing that was very obvious, especially at the start of last year, is how much of a hard worker he is. He got involved with everything he could at Alpine, and there didn't seem to be a job that was too small or too insignificant for him, and he was always eager to learn. He appears to be somebody who's very quiet but incredibly determined. He's undoubtedly talented. He's won 3 major racing series, each at the first time of competing. This includes Formula Renault Euro Cup, Formula 3 and Formula 2. His F2 win was particularly impressive. He finished on 252.5 points, and second place driver, who was Ferrari's academy driver, Robert Schwartzman, also a very talented driver, only managed to get 192 points. And that's a huge gulf in a series where the cars are essentially identical. It was a field laden with talent. We had Guan Yu Zhou, Dan Tickman, Yuri Vips, Teo Porcher, Liam Lawson, and many, many others. We haven't seen this kind of dominance of Formula 2 since rookies like George Russell in 2018 and Charles Leclerc in 2017. He's had to sacrifice an awful lot to be in the sport that he loves. He's thousands of miles from his home back in Australia, and all of this adversity, all of this difficulty has appeared to make him much stronger and give him a single-minded sense to succeed.
Yeah, I just can't wait to get back out and go racing again.
He'll be alongside 23-year-old veteran Lando Norris. Norris has performed exceptionally well over the past few seasons, dominating the inter-team battle with Daniel Ricciardo, and he's one of the most exciting drivers on the grid. Perhaps being born in Glastonbury accounts for his extremely laid-back nature when he's outside the car, but when he's inside the car, he is absolutely ruthless.
I mean, every new season with the new car is an exciting time for us drivers. A time when you don't really know how it's going to act and perform, apart from a bit of a feeling that you might get on the simulator. So yeah, I'm always excited for a new challenge, the new car. Of course, you always hope it's a little bit quicker, and that's our plan. So yeah, we have a good plan in place for us as a team and how to move forward from where we are now and through the season. So I look forward to that.
McLaren have an exceptionally exciting driver lineup. It's one that's absolutely oozing with talent. The car that they've launched looks absolutely beautiful, but there's a lot of murmurings about managing expectations and what things will be like when they get their new wind tunnel next year, which makes me worried that this car is not going to deliver the potential that these two drivers deserve. Thank you for joining me for this look at the MCL60. I really hope you've enjoyed it. What do you think of the car? And which of these two talented drivers do you think is going to come out on top? Please do let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, please do like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel. If you would like to buy any photographs of the McLaren team, there's a link in the description below, and there's also a discount code where you can save 10% on all purchases. The car launches are coming thick and fast, so until the next one, goodbye.